Namaste to all you yogis, yoginis, and fellow Nidra lovers out there watching this video. This is Nick Watson here, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about my online program called Journey of the 12 Moons. In a previous video, I talked about the practice of Yoga Nidra and how it is quite an underrepresented practice, in my opinion, because it has a profound effect in being able to understand yourself better and to evolve yourself better and to get rid of some of the limiting beliefs and the thoughts that you have that may be coming from trauma or just erroneous beliefs. In yoga, we would call this avidya, right? Things that you think were true, but they're not really. So you can watch that video and see the practice of Yoga Nidra and its power and how it can really move you through blocks that you may not have been able to shift prior to doing a Yoga Nidra practice. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the special blend that I have created with Journey of the 12 Moons. So there is a specific reason that I teach the class on a new moon. There is, amongst our little planet, we are in a cosmos and there are moving pieces and planets that are happening all of the time, and they have an influence on us. It would be naive to say that the moon does not have any kind of influence on us. It is what controls our world. It is what makes our world turn. It is the gravitational pull of our earth. It is what creates the tides and keeps harmony. So the moon in itself is very connected to us. Without it, we would not be here. And there are two moments within a lunar calendar, a lunar cycle, that are particularly relevant. The first one is a full moon. And we're often drawn to kind of wonder and look at the moon when it's shining up there in its glory. And the second moment is a new moon. Now, a new moon is where you don't see the moon, where the moon is hidden. Now, paradoxically, what's happening is it's to do with the sun. And the sun and the moon are related. They're like a mom and dad in the sky. The sun is related to male, and the moon is related to female. In a full moon, the sun and the moon are far apart. That allows the sun's rays to shine and illuminate the moon. When we have a new moon, it means that the sun and the moon have come together. It's like a male and a female going on a date. And these dates happen like once a month, basically. So think of the moon and the sun being like in a long distance, long distance relationship where every month they come together, they go out on a date, and then they go back. And this happens since time began. Obviously, if this was happening in and out every month, same time, same place, it might be a little bit boring. But no, the cosmos has arranged for a different planet to be around the sun and the moon when they meet on their date. And if you think about it, it's like the sun and the moon going on a date in a different type of date or a different restaurant each month. And so things are kept a little fresh and there's a different flavor to each new moon. So, for example, when the new moon, the sun and the moon come together for their date in July, it's in the astrological sign of Leo. So Leo is a fire sign, and so you might associate it with the sun and maybe a date at the beach. Imagine this couple, sun and moon, are going for a date at the beach, and the kind of energy and the kind of things that might be going on between them. Maybe there's a little bit of show-offing, maybe there's a little promenading, maybe there's a little bit of fluffing the feathers, maybe there's a little bit of theatricality, maybe there's a little bit of playfulness around. right? And so in their meeting, in that date, those two characters, sun and moon, are able to express a joyful, playful, flirtatious, theatrical part of themselves. It's appropriate to do that at the beach. Whereas if they're meeting in, let's say, their date in December, it's not the same. Their date in December takes place under the influence of Capricorn. Capricorn is an earth sign and is associated with the knees. So you can imagine that their date in December in Capricorn is more like them going for a hike. And the aspects and the things that they would need to do to be successful on that date are going to be very different than their date at the beach. So a date in December with Capricorn, what does Capricorn going on a hike require for them to be a successful date? It would mean like planning, stamina, being prepared, having a physical body fit enough to do the hike. And so that is the flavor of that month. I love this. I think this is so cool that each month there's a different flavor around the new moon. And that's what I try to bring into the Yoga Nidra practice. Because even though there are 7 parts to a Yoga Nidra practice, there is one part that is a visualization. And it allows us to kind of go into the vibe of the vibe can be anything really, and I like to bring in the vibe of the astrology sign that's in play. What is it useful for in terms of our own self-development? Well, when we're doing Yoga Nidra, it is literally a reflective practice. We are lying down on our backs, our eyes are closed, we turn the brain circuitry off through the rotation of consciousness. You're taken into this subliminal hypnagogic state where it's kind of between dream and awake, so there's no mental chatter to distract you. And then we allow the third eye, like an observatory that opens up to take this telescope out. It's like the third eye opens to allow us to reflect what is happening in the sky in our visualization. And the same kind of things that the moon and the sun might learn on their date at the beach is the same kind of reflection that you might have about yourself. And so you're able to see various aspects of yourself and kind of try them on for size in a way that is safe. For example, if you know that you are someone who is shy and we come to a new moon in Leo, maybe that Yoga Nidra and that visualization of allowing yourself to feel at the beach, allowing yourself to cartwheel down the sand in a very safe way. Nobody's watching you. You're able to run that vibrational pattern through your body. And that then gives you a place when you come back to being in your day-to-day life that you've experienced it, you've had that vibration in a very safe and quite sweet way to be. So that is why it's called a journey of the 12 moons, because we do really weave our way through each of the elements and the 12 zodiac signs and all of the kind of felt sense, subtle feeling that each of those astrology signs brings to us. And, this is a lovely way to do self-development work that is not heavy-handed, it's personal, it's not talking through with a therapist, it's very subtle, it's between you and the moon, and it's just a pleasure for me to provide this opportunity to allow people to do this in the comfort of your own home. There's also a workbook that I give out with the course, which are prompts that you can use and just to kind of get you into the mood, the bhav of the Nidra, so that you're already prepped to be thinking about the aspects as we go into the Nidra practice. after you've done your Nidra practice, you can write down things that you notice about yourself, whether it felt comfortable, not comfortable. Maybe there was messages for you from the part beyond your mind. And then another layer is the ability to be able to share with others, should you choose. We have a community, and I'm certainly available for people to talk about their experiences and share what they are realizing about themselves as they go through the journey. No matter what you come to it for, it will always provide a place of sanctuary, of relaxation, of quiet time. It is an antidote. Anytime we're working with the moon, it is an antidote to the busyness of day-to-day life, to the burnout feeling, to the overwhelm. It is a practice that will help to let you sleep better, to release the agitation in your mind. And I promise if you stick with it, you will get more and more out of it. So I invite you to join me by the light of the moon, if possible starting in January, but really any time is a great time to join in this journey. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and ask. And if you'd like to try Yoga Nidra practice, in the link below, you can go to the online studio and see one of the Yoga Nidra practices along with the reflection sheet and see if it's something that you find might be calling you, although from my experience with the moon work, it's often just a little whisper. Thanks for listening. Hari Om, Om Tat Sat. Namaste.